News. Israel's new plan to escalate the war by taking over Gaza City. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more of Hamas's reaction.
Calling Israel's decision a reckless mentality that disregards the lives of prisoners. The statement goes on to say, quote, "We hold the American administration fully responsible for the occupation's crimes due to its political cover and direct military support."
Here's the U.S. ambassador to Israel's reaction.
It's absurd that they would even suggest that they're the good guys.
Mike Huckabee tells Fox this morning.
These are the people that raped women in front of their families, that beheaded babies and put them in ovens, that mutilated the bodies of their victims, even as the family members watched.
Referencing the 2023 Hamas terror attack that triggered the war, Israel's security cabinet approved the plan to take over Gaza City while also delivering more food for Palestinians. To dismantle Hamas and try to free the remaining hostages, 20 still believed to be alive. But some hostage families protest the plan in Israel, fearing they'll be killed. This is deadline day. President Trump set for Russia to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine or face new economic sanctions. But could that be delayed as he plans to meet with leader Vladimir Putin?
We can report that the two sides are tentatively looking at the end of next week for a Trump-Putin summit. The location is still up in the air and Rome is still in the mix, but also Hungary, Switzerland, and the UAE are being considered.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. The U.S. keeps trying to take down Venezuela's leader, putting a $50 million reward for info leading to Nicolas Maduro's arrest. Here's Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Maduro uses foreign terrorist organizations like TDA, Sinaloa, and Cartel of the Suns to bring deadly drugs and violence into our country.
Democratic state lawmakers who fled Texas to block a redistricting are being told to come home today or face possible arrests. Attorney General Ken Paxton tells Fox.
Well, if they are not there today, we are going to file a motion to remove some of these legislators from office.
America's listening to Fox News.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Two Pennsylvania state troopers are recovering from serious injuries the morning after they were ambushed near Thompson, north of Philadelphia.
State police say the two troopers, Joseph Parachinsky and William Jenkins, are in hospitals and stable after responding to the domestic call. Colonel Christopher Parris said they believe the shooter, Carmine Fano, to be responsible for the death of a neighbor outside her home.
Lori Wasco was shot and killed in front of that residence in the general vicinity of her vehicle.
After Fano wounded the troopers, negotiations to disarm Fano failed. According to Colonel Parris,
he continued to be a threat, and he was shot by members of the Special Emergency Response Team. He is deceased.
The investigation continues into what led to the neighbors' initial confrontation. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Well, this is day 8 of the manhunt in Montana for a suspected quadruple murderer. Michael Brown, an Army veteran, is accused of shooting 4 people to death in a bar in Anaconda a week ago. Days after the Trump administration announced a plan to build a new detention facility for illegal immigrants waiting deportation in Indiana called the Speedway Slammer. A judge puts limits on what's been nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz in Florida that Democrats criticize as an internment camp caging people.
District Court Judge Kathleen Williams ruled no additional infrastructure construction can take place at the site for the next 14 days. That ruling also includes paving around the facility. The judge's ruling followed a suit filed by environmental groups and a local Native American tribe, which claims that the facility, which is in the Florida Everglades, threatens the wetlands and environmental restoration in that area. However, the facility will still hold illegal migrant detainees while the environmental issue is resolved. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
On Wall Street, Dow futures up more than 100 points the day after the Dow dropped more than 200, but the Nasdaq rose to a record high. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign County Sheriff's deputy hurt in a crash in Urbana Thursday morning. Two-car crash happened around 4:15 at the intersection of Florida Avenue and Lincoln Avenue. Department says it's not sure if the deputy was responding to a call or had lights and siren activated. Authorities naming the man killed in a crash this week near Urbana. Andrew Ward died following Tuesday's accident in the 1600 block of East at Old Church Road. Autopsy was conducted. That crash remains under investigation. Illinois' Attorney General warning Illinoisans to be on the lookout for back-to-school scams. He says scammers trying to take advantage of students and their families that try to trick consumers into paying for services or items that they likely never receive, or sharing personal data that scammers can use to steal consumers' identities. And that's a check of what's happening here on your Friday. Have a safe, fun weekend. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning, friends. It is Friday. I made it to the end of the week. It is August 8th. Good to have you listening on ESPN 93.5. My name is Stevie J. There's Diane.
Hello.
Ducey, our learned one that we are excited to have every day because he's so darn good at weather is meteorologist Greg Solier.
Good morning. You know what? You are always Johnny on the spot when it's a Friday. You get that date down and calendar date down to a T.
Yeah, you know, if you think,
and then there's Mondays.
Other days.
No, I'm good on Mondays. I really am.
Mondays.
I kind of like coming in. It's a little too visible for morning therapy because I'm coming in just kind of getting off my chest. So, it's just like,
well, that's okay.
Talking to some psychiatrist for 2 hours and it feels good.
Mm-hmm.
I just vent. I get it going.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you get like a tin cup and have something rattle around. Just bring it up there on the console, pop it down, hear it rattle around, and say, "Okay, session is open. Let's go."
No, that's right, and it's a few kind of things that I got in my mind today, but there's be something else that'll come up. And that's why when Grace and I host the Miss Illinois for Miss America down in Marion, Illinois. I think we've done it 4 years. Before the show, I say, honey, I'm sorry. She says, why? She says, I'm going to say something, and I don't know what that is.
Right.
There's just something. She says, why are you apologizing? Because I don't know what I'm going to say. And several times I hear, the crowd doesn't hear, and there's a big house, a big lot of people.
There's my father-in-law. And this is his daughter saying this is as the years appear on the back of the uniform jersey, the filter comes off.
Yeah,
so
that's right. I'll start something and I'll hear the crowd doesn't hear, but Gracie will go, oh no.
Yeah, here we go.
It's kind of how it goes.
That's my prayer when I walk into the studio every morning. God, guide my words.
Well, that's right, and that's a great prayer, and I also say that most of the time because I need guidance because I have no idea where the show's going, and maybe people like that. I hope so.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping. Here's hoping. We check your weather brought to you this morning by Carl.
Carl reminds you outdoor fitness and all of that. You're thinking about those physicals, right? So you got sports and you've got back to school going on. Find a location near you. It's simple to get those physicals done. In fact, Stevie did it yesterday.
I got a checkup at a doctor. I'd not had established a doctor at Carl. I had one, but I wasn't in for a decade or so they kind of...
What?
Yeah.
I know.
I'm feeling fine. Good. So they kind of dropped me. Anyway, I got back on the saddle with Dr. Scott Cinnamon, highly regarded primary care physician. He said there's just not enough doctors these days.
That's right.
So you know that doctors generally have between 3,500 and 5,000 patients?
Whoa! I had no idea.
That's why when you call today, they'll get you in November.
3 months, yeah.
At least.
Right.
I mean, how do you do that? And just think
and by then you're feeling better. If you have some kind of creaks or pains, oh, okay, well, never mind.
I think here's an idea for OSF or Christy or Carl is that each physician, I'm talking about the top, it's like a head coach.
Okay.
You need an executive assistant like a chief of staff for a doctor. So the doctor doesn't have to dilly around with paperwork. You've got to go through it and you've got to have a meeting every day at 4 and you say yes, no, and they do all the paperwork. You make the decision, you get briefed, but they're messing around with too many papers.
Sounds like you need a head coach.
You need a general manager of the doctor so the doctor doesn't get bogged down in the stupid stuff, and I don't think they like that. And a lot of doctors go and invest in property and they get out of it. And I said there's not Elon Musk's robot is the only thing that's going to be able to take care of all of us. And all three of us, we're going to need a robot because there's not going to be a human. We're not going to have enough people.
It's really not insane on the price on some of these bots.
It's like $20,000. It's better than the long-term care stuff.
I guess it was the elderly bot that I saw that was around $5,000 to $8,000.
Well,
and they just interact with the elderly person and bring up puzzles. And
you need them to take you to the bathroom and be able to catch you.
Okay, this bot would just sat on the table.
No, you need help to the bathroom, and then you need help to get your sandwich. So that's the major thing.
So an Uber bot.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway,
get you to the doctor's office and back and all that.
Listen, Carl was highly efficient. It was unbelievable. I got blood drawn. You're supposed to get an appointment for that, but I hadn't eaten anything, so it was set up.
Okay, good. You had done your fast already.
Found a phlebotomist.
Yes.
That had done. She does 60 arms a day. And I didn't even feel it. So you like getting
that's a sign of a good, what do you call them?
Phlebotomist?
Phlebotomist.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Blood person?
Yeah, I got a big vein there that I usually...
Good for you.
Yeah.
Way to go.
I got a bunch here.
Phlebotomist dream is what she called it last time she pulled for me.
Yeah, you give blood, though. You give
12 gallons now.
12 gallons of blood. How about that?
Good for you.
Diane Ducey. All right, let's check your weather. Great Soye for the weekend, sir. Yeah. Almost forgot. Never mind. I almost forgot.
Afterthought, no worries. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward stuff anyway. It's August, it's summertime, and it's a rinse and repeat forecast around here. Out the door this morning, 73 at Willard and Savoy. Some patchy low clouds and fog in some areas of east central Illinois. Is par for the course around here. Heat advisories over the western reaches of the Corn Belt. Some big rains through Minnesota and some big rains ahead over the next several days over the waterlogged areas getting that way in parts of Iowa and sections of the mid-Mississippi Valley. Will be in the eastern cusp of that going forward. Hopefully some additional dryness and drought relief moving forward. Afternoon temps today, about 90. Bit of a southeast wind and sunshine will be the rule. Clear tonight, 71 for the weekend. Sunshine, hot, humid, but manageable at 92. Gusty south wind. Maybe nice at a late day thunderstorm at 91. We'll hover around 90 Monday and Tuesday. Better than even odds at a couple of AM and PM scattered thunderstorm clusters. And we dry things out at 88 for highs next Wednesday, Thursday. Back up to 90 next Friday and maybe a thunderstorm as well. For Stevie G Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, off and running. Here we go. It is Friday. It is August 8th. 3 weeks from tonight is football.
Absolutely. You can text in 359-2255. Already a comment about doctors and $500 per visit, and they could knock it down to a minimum of 4 visits per hour. And how long were you with your doctor, Cinnamon?
I don't know. A half hour?
And then you refer to a specialist.
No. Listen. I maybe it's why they fired me. I didn't go. And it's not. I'm not anti-doctor. I think doctors save lives all the time. I think when you need a doctor, you need a doctor. But your job is to keep your body in the best shape you can, so that you don't need doctors for things you shouldn't have to need them for. Mm-hmm. You have control of a great deal of your life and your health life if you know what to do. It's like you know the thing.
Yeah.
You know the
basically
thing.
Exercise and diet.
Well, you just have to do the best you can and really work at it and care enough so you don't go in. I think some of the back issues and the knee issues. It's you have too much on your body.
I know.
So anyway, it's just
the Wall-E movie. I caught that this week. We're losing a little bone mass on the Wall-E.
And the recliner with the big Slurpee or whatever.
Yes.
Anyway, it's important to do your best. But listen, I love doctors. Doctors save lives. I feel their pain. I think because they're. Think about it. You're a doctor making $1 million a year, whatever it is, $2 million, whatever it is. If you're a surgeon, you're making a couple million a year. But you got $600,000 probably in insurance.
Yeah,
$500,000 in insurance costs just because you're going to get sued by somebody.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you're going little room to little room to little room, and you can't run out to the soccer game. You're not going to see your kids play. That's their life. They put a lot in. About 30 years old, schooling till 30, and you went through all this stuff. We can have a shortage of doctors, or the nurse is going to rule. It's just, or the physician's assistants, those folks are going to be able to write scripts, and we're running out of doctors, and I think it's a big deal.
What I never understood was why do we do 12 and 12 on these, shifts? Why don't we do 3 8-hour shifts?
Because 24 hours a week, you're not going to make your money.
On the 24-hour day, why do the health professionals have to work 12 and 12?
They don't have to, they want to. Because they don't have to work all week. They work 3 days. You get 4 off.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's what they want. They're pretty tired at hour 12. But I think that's totally by choice. I think they and particularly if you're driving an hour to come to Carl or something,
I guess
they can do that. Okay, so I want to kind of put in the young lady that checked me in, they weigh in, all that stuff. I just have a little bit of humble pie.
Okay.
I got to tell you about here, but you just got to know about this. All right, stand by. ESPN 93.5, we check your sports headlines.
We're setting up a Cub Card weekend, 7:15 tonight, either here on ESPN 93.5 or US 105.9 for you Cubs fans to listen in. I know Saturday is a 6:15 start. I don't know if Sunday is a day game or not, but
I think they moved it to a night game. They made it a marquee game.
Okay.
I think.
So let's get your Redbird Recap.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
The Cardinals enjoyed an off day yesterday after taking 2 of 3 from the Dodgers. They last played on Wednesday, winning by a 5-3 score, and tonight they are back at home for a 9-game homestand. It starts with a 3-game weekend series against the Chicago Cubs. The Cardinals tonight are going to send Michael McGreevy to the mound. The rookie comes in with a 3-2 record, a 5.08 ERA. Over his last 2 starts, he's gone 10 2/3 innings, allowing 11 runs on 16 hits. He faced the Cubs for a first time in his career on June 24th, allowing 5 runs on 7 hits in 4 2/3 innings. The Cardinals won that game 8-7. It'll be Matthew Boyd on the mound for the Cubs tonight. He's 11-4 with a 2.34 ERA. Career against the Cardinals, 3-1, 1.29 ERA. 7:15 first pitch. That means our coverage gets underway at 6:20. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
We're seeing some highlights of some preseason football on the TV right now. It says Seahawks and Raiders tie in the preseason opener. I was taking note of the Colts getting beat by Baltimore, and how Anthony Richardson, the QB, pinky dislocated. I guess it was like pointing another direction, and he said he thought he was tripping. He's going to be looking at it.
They just take that and pop that.
They popped it right back in on the.
Boy.
Sorry if you're eating breakfast right now. He only completed 2 of 3 passes for 21 yards. And also the Colts have confirmed that a torn ACL on the 3rd round pick, Justin Wally, a cornerback, on Tuesday in practice. So beat up. We'll have the Bears in action Sunday against Miami.
Listen here, Q96 is Q96.1 is the home of the Bears. Weather now brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
Hey, remind you the pool's open. Got to attend yesterday. Just a wonderful experience. I even jumped off the diving board, Stevie. Plus, you've got all kinds of exercising you can do on Saturday. UrbanaParks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Classic midsummer time, early August weather into the weekend. Much of next week as well. Some heat, some humidity, and a couple of thunderstorm chances rolled in, especially early next week as well. A little more in the way of low clouds and some patchy fog in some spots to contend with this morning. Otherwise, it'll be sunshine the rule. Afternoon temperatures hot and humid up around 90. Light southeast wind, a bit gusty for the afternoon as well. Muggy tonight at 71. Sunshine, hot, humid tomorrow at 92. Pick up on the south wind. Creasing clouds for the day on Sunday. Hot, humid with maybe a late day thunderstorm and a spot or 2 at 91. Scattered thunderstorms for Monday and Tuesday next week. Humidity stays up through early next week. Daytime readings either side of the 90-degree mark. Low 70s at night. Lingering shower chance early Wednesday. Partly sunny, bit less humid. Highs at 88. We're heading towards the 90-degree mark late next week with a thunderstorm chance late next week as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Business Report. Wendy's shares are down 3.5%. The fast food chain is reporting a mixed quarter and is lowering expectations. It's predicting sales will decline 3 to 5% this year. U.S. sales were weaker in the quarter, and Wendy's says it's dealing with higher prices for ingredients, also higher costs for labor. Wendy's interim CEO Ken Cook says in the U.S. we have work to do to improve the overall performance of the business. Gold prices trading in Europe rose to records today, topping $3,500 an ounce after the Financial Times reported that the U.S. is suggesting gold bars weighing 1 kilogram should be subject to tariffs. And President Trump's choice for the Federal Reserve vacancy is economic advisor Stephen Myron. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
It's time to take the quiz.
It's 5 questions in less than 5 minutes. We asked people on the streets of New York City to play along. Let's see how you do.
What is the name of the coffee shop in the sitcom Friends?
Mel's Diner.
Central Perk. The answer? Central Perk.
Either way, you can always try again tomorrow. Take the quiz every day at thequiz.fox, then come back here to see how you did.
And thank you for taking the quiz.
Friday nights in August, it's Farmer City Raceway with their full show plus kids mods brought to you by Nutrient. Adults are $15, veterans $10, kids 12 and under are free. Hot laps around the quarter-mile dirt track start at 6:30. Head to 850 Grove Street in Farmer City before the final Friday, August 29th, with $5,000 to win for the Mars Late Models during the Chuck Wagon Food Service Richardson Memorial Modifieds and Pro Late Model Racing. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
All right, here we go. So I'm at the doctor yesterday, and again, I also used to Dr. Mantell. I think her office is awesome.
Yes.
And they're wonderful. And
right here in
great.
Philo.
Right here in Philo. And yet, if you're at Carl or you're at OSF, you really kind of need an established doctor. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where I was. So anyway, I got an established doctor again. So anyway, so I'm getting checked in, and they're weighing me on the truck scale because it's the whole floor was a truck. I didn't agree with the weight reading. I thought it was too heavy. Anyway, so we go in, and this nice young lady, her first name is P-E-J-A, and I said
Paja?
It's Paja.
Okay.
Pretty. And she said, yeah, I'm named after some basketball player.
Oh, wow.
I said, Paja Stojakovic?
Oh, wow.
His son's coming here.
Oh, wow.
So, number one, A, I don't think she knew there was an Illinois basketball team. B, she had no idea her namesake's going to be walking around our campus because the dad's coming.
Do you think she...
Paja.
She'd go a deep dive into her name?
But I'm talking about somebody that worked at the Curtis Road Carl had zero idea that the namesake that was some basketball player will be walking around Champaign-Urbana a lot because his son's here.
I mean, I wouldn't have pulled that out, and I do sports every day. I'm surprised you did.
Paja Stojakovic, he's an NBA All-Star champion. Okay. Now, I didn't follow
I know there's all these Baltics or Europeans coming in.
What we ought to do is have a $10,000 spelling bee and pull people out of the mall, and if you can spell these names, you win. It'd be fantastic live on the Man on
We'll
the Street.
do that contest instead of our name, the starting five.
Yeah, no.
Spell the names.
You can't even pronounce the names, let alone spell the names. And there's
We
no
get used to it, though.
There's no Latin derivative here. This
Georgie
is,
Bishanzavili.
We got him.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, Andrzej Stojakovic is the son of Peja. And this young lady was named after that. I said, he's going to be around. And she, I didn't know.
Okay, good.
So, but the point is, while I think if you work at the University of Illinois, you ought to have awareness that there's a basketball team and a football team and a lot of nice athletes that work real hard. They're not aware. Some aren't aware because we're not the SEC. I went to Mississippi to a football game once, and the professor of every department was flipping burgers because either you do that or you get another job. You got to be in.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Love that idea.
So we have all kinds of people here in Champaign-Urbana that 3 weeks into the night have no clue there's a game.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I forget that because I'm all about it.
Yes.
I'm into it. I talk a lot about it. I'm a fan.
Kind of tunnel vision.
But there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people that are clueless and don't care.
Right.
That's why you go on North Prospect on a Sunday afternoon. They don't care about the NFL. What?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean they don't care about the Bears? Nothing? They don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
You think fantasy, they think movie. They don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
But I think it's good to kind of get an awareness that what we think is important is just radio, right? It's just TV. It's just, there's more in this globe than sometimes what we're micro-focused on.
Right.
And to be at least an awareness that a woman named after a basketball player whose actual namesake will be in Champaign a lot. I had no idea.
I'm glad you enlightened her, Stevie. I went to a pastor's luncheon at Vineyard Church yesterday because Christian FM 95.3 is in our cluster. And, there was somebody had said, I just love the way you and Stevie just touch on different things. And if I need to deep dive more into the topic, I can. But at least I'm getting what people are talking about around the water cooler, and I'm not totally in the dark.
I hope that when people are done listening to us, there's nothing that will surprise them today as far as big news.
Yes.
It's hard to touch them all, but I think the big headlines, I think we hit most every day. Like Donald Trump to meet with Vladimir Putin is kind of a big deal. I don't know if it's going to work because I think he wants part of Ukraine. Ukraine says we can't give it to you until we have a national referendum. And a whole lot of these people in these corners of Ukraine are all Russian, and they probably want it. Just like Crimea, Barack Obama didn't do anything about it. They came in and took their port city. They just took it. And then, they had a vote, and that they wanted that because a lot of them are Russian anyway. So anyway, there's a long way to go for peace here. And just imagine if there are 5,000 people dead every week in this war. 5,000 dead every week. They're mostly young men. Such a shame for both. And it's, Russia started it, and Joe Biden didn't do anything about it.
And to me, what is the point, Putin?
He wants Ukraine. He wants to redraw Mother Russia.
A few more miles of your border. Why?
No, he wants to put together all of the countries that were part of the Soviet Union.
Okay, so this is the first of many.
He wants to go into Poland. He wants it all. So that's the point. I don't think he's got it. If he's going to North Korea to get help, he didn't have it. So anyway, I don't know what's going to come of it, but we will find out. John Thomas is his name, and he knows a lot about this issue. We will talk to him for a few minutes. Okay. Brother Johnny's driving to the airport, so he's unavailable this morning down in St. Louis.
It was wonderful to get his input about summer camps and the Christian impact.
He talked about that yesterday at the Christian luncheon.
Pastors,
and the Christian luncheon that you started, by the way.
Well, I mean, with Mark Burns and Great News Radio and all that.
Great guy.
Absolutely.
All right, coming back in just a moment, 7:29. Sarah Champagne Managing Partner Ben Quattrone on why integrity is important at Sarah.
We hire the person. The person makes the deal. The person makes the department. The person makes everyone around them treat people with courtesy and respect. If you have a quality human being, you can play any position, right? We're talking about sports. They can perform in any department, and I could teach someone a job, but I can't teach them to be a good person.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA Champagne.com. You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. President Trump wants his Russian counterpart at the peace table.
We're going to see what he has to say, which is going to be up to him. Very disappointed.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich of the White House.
We can report that the two sides are tentatively looking at the end of next week for a Trump-Putin summit. The location is still up in the air, and Rome is still in the mix, but also Hungary, Switzerland, and the UAE are being considered. I'm told that Putin's first choice was Hungary.
China's President Xi dialing up Putin today. If Putin says no, President Trump expected to hammer Russia with harsher economic sanctions. The terror group Hamas says Israel's decision to take control of Gaza City is a war crime. U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee.
They need to disarm, leave, and never think they have a future in Gaza again.
The ambassador earlier on Fox and Friends. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign County coroner released the identity of the motorcyclist died in a two-car crash in Champaign County Tuesday. 35-year-old Andrew Ward of Allerton crashing at 1600 East and Old Church Road near Urbana. Police are investigating. Champaign County Sheriff's deputy hurt in a crash in Urbana early Thursday morning. Two-car crash happened around 4:15 at the intersection of Florida Avenue and Lincoln Avenue in Urbana. The department has not said if the deputy was responding to a call or had lights and sirens activated at the time. Illinois police officers now required to have more training to respond to sexual abuse and sexual assault cases. After a sexual assault, one problem survivors often say they face is law enforcement re-traumatizing them with certain questions. With the new law, officers are trained to be more empathetic when talking to survivors. Illinois Law Enforcement Training Standards Board says they're already working to add the topic to training officers that they go through. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
At 90 Monday, 89 to 90 Tuesday. The air dries out a little bit for Wednesday, Thursday next week with readings into the upper 80s, back up to around 90 and a thunderstorm chance for late next week on Friday as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, ESPN 93.5. I'm glad you're listening today. I'm Stevie J. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
And we are happy to welcome to the program John Thomas. John Thomas is Nest Point Managing Director, Republican political strategist. Nest Point political strategist. What is Nest Point, John?
It's a political government affairs and finance firm. We advise companies and politicians all over the globe.
Well, good for you. You'll never run out of work. Good for John Thomas. All right, so Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, the question is, are they going to meet?
Yeah, that is a TBD question. It appears that they will, and it's no surprise because one thing I think President Trump understands better than anybody is that Vladimir Putin only really responds to one thing, and that's pressure. He's about to drop the hammer on Russia over additional sanctions, not just on Russia, but all of Russia's trading partners, and that really will squeeze Russia's economy. So shocker, now Vladimir Putin is ready to come to the table. So we'll see if the two men actually get together. But look, I got to say, the big thing here is, to me, the lesson in leadership. Not only that President Trump is like a dog on a bone to try to get something done here and resolve this conflict, but President Trump's trying to clean up a mess that shouldn't have ever happened in the first place. And the only reason it's happening is because Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine because he knew that the U.S. was weak under Joe Biden. And cleaning things up is a lot harder than stopping it before it started in the first place.
They're losing 5,000 lives on both sides, every single week. I mean, Trump is definitely disturbed about how many deaths are occurring. He just wants to stop the deaths from occurring. He says it over and over again. But when you get Vladimir Putin, who's going to want part of Ukraine that he took over and was aggressive and did all that stuff, is Ukraine just going to have to give that up?
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I think there has to be some kind of give and take here, but the challenge is, let's just assume that President Trump can get an agreement from Putin. Well, then he's got to convince Zelensky, which he hasn't been exactly the easiest guy to work with. The only saving grace there is the U.S. does have leverage over Ukraine, which is our money. Ukraine cannot continue to fight without our support. So there is some implied leverage there. And I do know that the Ukrainian people want to end the bloodshed. That is the case. So, yeah, it's probably some kind of compromise. But look, some kind of compromise is better than what we've got right now, which is just endless death.
But just think of John Thomas, who's with Nest Point, political analyst, Republican political strategist. So here's what's weird, and we live in weird times, but think about this. Okay, Vladimir Putin's want this. He's going to take this land that he took aggressively. That's really not fair. But then Ukraine has to have some sort of national referendum to agree to it. It's like, okay, honey, let's vote on them taking our land. What are we doing? You guys came to us. Why would I ever want to make peace with you, except that we're war-torn and tired, like I'm sure they are?
Yeah, it's actually, they've created a little bit of a mess that it's not just a handful of politicians that get in a room that decide, this has to go to a vote of the people. So it's made it even another layer more complicated to get peace. But I think the people will agree relatively quickly if President Trump can get Vladimir Putin to come up with some kind of reasonable agreement. The Ukrainian people want this over as well.
Yeah.
So it is another hurdle. It's more complicated, and there's more risk because let's say hypothetically next week President Trump gets Putin to a reasonable agreement. Well, he's got to get Putin to do a ceasefire or sit still long enough so that the Ukrainian people can hold an election vote on it. And if Putin wiggles out, which he's done in the past, and they hold a vote in Ukraine, the people may just vote to kill the deal because Putin wasn't sticking to his word. So this is highly complicated.
Somehow Putin's got to save some face, right? I mean, he's going to have to look like he won.
That's right.
To his people. That's right. But
That's right.
And a lot of the area they want to take is probably fully Russian anyway. I think that happened in Crimea, right? I mean, they went in and took that under Obama, and a lot of people Russian voted for it, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, if this somehow miraculously, with the hand of God involved, this war ends, I know he probably won't because it's all political, but Trump should be like 4 years in a row of repeating Nobel Peace Prize winner. My gosh.
I know, but when President Trump brings this to a conclusion, and I think he will, because if there's anybody who can do it, it would be Trump. I guarantee you, the mainstream media will be, who is rooting against America and Donald Trump, will say this was anybody could have done it. It wasn't a good deal. They're just going to crap all over this thing. So let's not hold our breath. The good news is, obviously, your listeners get the truth, but also you can go to President Trump's Truth Social feed and get a live stream of what's going on, because you just can't believe a word that the mainstream media is saying. Anything they say, they're trying to spin it against President Trump.
John Thomas, how can people connect with you?
You can find me on Twitter at @TheThomasGuide. That's my handle.
The Thomas Guide?
Guide, yes.
The Thomas Guide. Okay, I got you on Twitter or X, or we're calling it X. Hey, listen, thank you for the insight. We'll see what happens, and we'll say our prayers. There can be peace there.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet. John Thomas is his name. He said in Dallas today.
That's right, and you can always hear these interviews again at StevieJay.com as you tap into the podcast.
I mean, when you want to stop a war and you've had, I don't know, the total death, if they're doing 5,000 a week, do the math, how many years this has been going on.
Oh, my goodness.
Just think about, you have a soldier in Russia and you're sending them, and I don't know how many young men, 18 to 24 or 20 to 30, probably have a few million men in Russia, but if they're losing hundreds of thousands of them, it's just unbelievable. Now, keep in mind, when you have nuclear weapons like Russia has, and there have been threats, they can they can go crazy, and that could trigger other things. It could be really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So Donald Trump, I think in a room, you would be very, very impressed with him. I know he's a Nazi and he's Hitler, but you sit in a room, a lot of people like this that, publicly you're thinking, oh man, he's boastful.
Yep.
But you get in a room and all of a sudden he's listening more than he does talk. And I didn't think he was like that. That kind of thing. He does that all the time. Every account of people that have association with Donald Trump, he's not what you think. He's been lied about for a very long time since he said he's an R, not a D. It's just been unbelievable. But he's done things that, when Newt Gingrich, who I respect highly, former Speaker of the House that worked with Bill Clinton beautifully, when he said he's up there with Washington and Lincoln, you at least got to pause and say, what? Really?
Yeah.
So what we have is a tearing apart of Donald Trump daily as part of a mechanism of our mainstream media. But you just got to figure out what the truth is. And when Donald Trump says this and then a year and a half later it actually is right, log that. He's not right on everything, but he's right on most things.
Right.
If you just go back and actually do an honest check. Anyway.
Well, I was doing a lot of hanging out yesterday with some people who had disabilities and with special needs. They were talking about all these cuts and, our food stamps and, our resources are going to be limited and cut. And we're so worried and we're mad at Donald Trump. And I'm like, I think we'll be able to get through it. And you just need to know the right people to help navigate and get an advocate and be able to negotiate how to get the proper resources. I don't think any of this is...
He is cutting Medicaid to people that don't get it. You can't take it if you're an illegal immigrant in America, and that's cutting people. That's how they pose it. You're cutting Medicaid because instead of the massive increase that you would give it, you cut the increase. But you're not cutting Medicaid. Well, that's how you spin it. So you are taking Medicaid away from the people that shouldn't have it, and they're doing fraud. It's fraudulent.
Right.
There are people that are citizens of the country causing Medicaid to pay when they shouldn't. Yeah, you're taking it away. You are, but it's cheating. It's against the law. You go to jail for stuff like that. So that's how they spin it. It's true. He's cutting Medicaid on people for those that don't get it and shouldn't get it and are cheating the system. Okay, now how do you feel about it if I say that?
Right.
Maybe a little better?
Right.
Or you don't believe me?
And so then, they were throwing shade on his character in the past and womanizing, blah, blah, blah. And then I was saying, darn, I wish I would have made better choices when I was younger. It was one of these.
Well, and then you get into, okay, so I think everything has been discredited. This Gene Carroll is a whack job and just wow. And that was 30. Right. Whatever, all the things. And yes, has he been handsy? I don't know. I wasn't there.
Right.
But the bottom line is, would you rather have a leader, an imperfect person? You're always going to get an imperfect person that has made mistakes. But if you get a guy that has been as successful and is such a forceful leader that has done a lot of great things, would you rather have him dealing with this Putin stuff or somebody that you can't find anything on, although there might be stuff on all of us, if you really want to go dig?
I know it.
So I'll take the leader guy, we need him at this time. There's a lot of issues. He's not going to get it all done. There's going to have to be somebody next. But if you put the Democrats and the woke people in office in 26, all you're going to have for 2 years is the impeachment of Donald Trump, and they will get him in an orange jumpsuit somehow. They just have to. So if you want that, that's what's next. Otherwise, we're moving in a fantastic direction.
Let's get some things done.
We'll get it done, and he'll get it done, and he really is. He's a pro-American guy, and there's so many anti-American people in power.
I don't get it. All I can figure is it's clickbait because people gravitate towards the negativity, and that's how they pay the bills on the internet, is to have some outlandish story that someone's going to click on, and then all of a sudden you're being tracked and you get the ads and blah, blah, blah.
Well, and if you can get 1 million followers, you make a good living out of that. So there are people that aspire.
So that's why I just hardly ever click on all these outlandish headlines that I see, because
that's the whole thing, is they're not true.
You're just wanting me to click on that, and I'll end up buying something I don't need.
If you come into America, it's a felony, but you can't convince those that say it's not, because you're a liar, and I just F you, right? I mean, that's how they generally end.
Yep.
So and for those folks, God bless them, pray for them.
Man,
but
to have
live
your fist clenched
all the
and,
time
and your jaw locked and just anger about what things are.
Everything.
Wish it would change.
Hate is like taking poison and expecting someone else to die. It's bad for you.
Like in the 4th of July parade. I'm just turning up the John Philip Sousa.
Let's go.
It's a grand old flag.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Greg Gutfeld, who I have talked about everybody at Fox News over the years, except Greg Gutfeld. Never had him on. He never was offered. Even on his books go, he just doesn't do it. But what an interesting background. I mean, he fired 4 times. I mean, he's fired a lot in his life. And he said, it's, you always do something better and people shouldn't freak out if they get fired. And he listed all the places last night on Jimmy Fallon on Tonight Show. He goes to NBC. Now think about that. You're on NBC, the competitor.
Yes.
And you're putting him on, which means he's really doing well to put a guy. Now, they didn't talk about it much about his show. They talked about his past. They talked about when he and Jimmy Fallon hung out in New York one night when they were both very drunk. And we're talking about that story and how Jimmy was, I think, at the time on Saturday Night Live, and he had a driver. And Greg said, we got in the car, it was like 5 of us, and the driver took us around the block and let us off at the same door. And he said, I think he just wanted to show he had a driver. And he came up to Greg Gutfeld and grabbed a cigarette and crushed it in his hands. And he said, these things will kill you. And Greg said, what are you doing, man? I'm not rich. Those things are so expensive. And he said, Jimmy's face got really sad and he left. And he came back with a full pack of cigarettes for him. He said, oh, great, thanks. Now you want to kill me. So anyway, I think there's a whole lot of gain for Gutfeld doing that.
Absolutely.
He's authentic. He's a little too crude for me. I watch his monologues, and I think at times the show is extraordinarily good, but he'll go off on that Talladega Nights thing where it's just too raw for me. Okay, but here's
That's
a clip.
a good comparison.
Here's a clip.
I'm surprised you've seen that to reference Talladega Nights.
Parts of it.
There we go, Steve.
So here's Greg Gutfeld with Jimmy Fallon on the Tonight Show last night, talking about he got this. He was sitting in a bar in England, and they got a call saying, "Hey, Fox is kind of new, and they want to do a 2 a.m. show. Are you interested?" And he said, "I'm broke. I'm interested." So they flew him to New York. They wanted to do all the practicing and things. He said, this show starts in 3 nights. And so they started him at 2 a.m. and they thought he was too coarse for 2 a.m. So they put him at 3 a.m.
Okay.
So anyway, here's Gutfeld last night with Jimmy Fallon.
Your mom was actually a big part of the show.
That is right.
You actually named her a senior correspondent.
Yeah, I called her senior correspondent because she's 80.
Yeah.
And you know what her job was?
Show the picture.
Her job was to watch Fox News. She would watch Fox News and tell me what was going on during the day. In fact, here's the weird thing. You know, when you're growing up, you don't want your friends to meet your parents. You're always embarrassed about it. I brought my friends over, and they loved her. And then there were times when I would come home, and my friends would already be there.
Yes.
They'd be in the backyard with my mom.
I had that too.
Yeah,
my friends love my parents.
Yes, and so they dumped me for my mom. So I realized at that point that she was good. Like she was no BS, and she was a supporter of everything I did, which is like your mom, and it's like it's a big deal.
Yeah, and so he was a hit, and the fans loved him, and the only thing closer wasn't politics.
Right.
Jimmy Kimmel, look up. Stephen Colbert, if he's long on till next meeting, look up.
Yep.
Jimmy Fallon. The key there was no agenda, spontaneously funny, telling stories.
Sharing some stories.
Yeah. And he said he talked about the new game show of What Did I Miss? It's a game show he hosts now, and it had its first year. It's on Fox Nation. But they get 4 or 5 people sequestered for like 100 days. Like no media, no phone, no anything. And he was talking about, we only gave him $25,000, and Fallon said, "Oh, you ought to give him 100. You know, it's 100 days away." And then they come out and they say, "Okay, Trump wants to annex Canada. True or false?" Right? I mean,
wow.
And he said, and this is the closest to politics that came. He said, with Donald Trump, we don't know what it might be true.
Right.
So he said it's great content.
Yeah.
The show just got renewed, so they did talk about his game show, but not about his show. It's competition. How do you put a guy that's beating you in the ratings on your show? Well, now will Jimmy Fallon go on Gutfeld?
Right.
But
why not?
Go to L.A. because he'd have to miss the show. He'd have to leave. They could tape, but he won't get to New York in time for the taping of their show. So Gutfeld missed his show to be on Fallon, and now he'll be on again tonight. And he's going to draw some Fallon fans into his show because of that appearance.
Interesting.
And he's also going to draw network interest in saying, can we put his show on ours?
Well, and I'm all for it. As a broadcasting person who's been at this since, 1989, I feel like we should all work together and promote each other. We're similar kindred spirits.
We are, but you're talking about eyeballs.
I know.
Does Jimmy Fallon want to lose 100,000 viewers because of that appearance?
But he'll gain some, huh?
Jimmy Fallon?
I would think so.
I don't know if they're on the same time. Now, Gutfeld's at 10 or 9.
Or the DVR these days.
You could tape them. You could do that.
To me, you're gaining a different audience and all of that. I don't know.
I think
maybe there's some crossover.
Of you're talking Colbert, Kimmel, and Fallon. I take Fallon 100 days for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Kimmel has an agenda. Colbert has a huge agenda.
Yeah, for sure.
And so,
And when is that going away? He said he's retiring
next May. No, really. They fired him, and you're going to be here another 9 months.
That's
so weird.
Yeah.
So he can blast his employer.
I know.
I can't believe they would keep him on. I really don't think so. Hey, 217-359-2255. You want to text Diane Duce and Stevie J, you just do that on the Fisher National Bank text line. We're going to check Greg Solier's weather before your weekend next.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Hey, do you have sewer blockages, problems? Are your toilets gurgling? Why deal with the headache? Call Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions today. We can come out and clean your line, camera it, show you what the problem is, and then we have an expert underground team that can make those repairs. 217-355-5512. We are here for you when you need us. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Our weather this morning brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Get great curb appeal and superior weather protection with a new roof and gutter helmet. You can learn about how the two work better together at kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Classic midsummer time, early August weather into the weekend. Much of next week as well. Some heat, some humidity, and a couple of thunderstorm chances rolled in, especially early next week as well. A little more in the way of low clouds and some patchy fog in some spots to contend with this morning. Otherwise, it'll be sunshine the rule. Afternoon temperatures hot and humid up around 90. Light southeast wind, a bit gusty for the afternoon as well. Buggy tonight at 71. Sunshine, hot, humid tomorrow at 92. Pick up on the south wind. Creasing clouds for the day on Sunday. Hot, humid with maybe a late day thunderstorm and a spot or two at 91. Scattered thunderstorms for Monday and Tuesday next week. Humidity stays up through early next week. Daytime readings either side of the 90-degree mark. Low 70s at night. Lingering shower chance early Wednesday, partly sunny, bit less humid. Highs at 88. We're heading towards the 90-degree mark late next week with a thunderstorm chance late next week as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Hey, could you tell me what aisle your car batteries are in?
Sure, I'll go grab one for you. Here's your battery. It might be expired, but oh well. Also, the brand isn't that great, but it should work for at least a year or two, maybe. Anyways, I went ahead and charged you for it, and here's the battery. Okay, have a great day.
What just happened?
Sometimes good things are hard to find, but they're worth the wait. Make the trip out to Interstate All Battery Center at 2504 North Madison Avenue and get all of your battery needs taken care of by the trusted professionals. Give them a call today at 355-4855. We're talking to John Reichert and Neil Asklin. I guess the first question for me, John, is what is it like being part of A&R, knowing how this all started? It was your grandfather, then your dad, and now you, and 100 years in business is hard. How do you explain that?
Well, it's incredible, honestly. When I was a boy, obviously my father was running the company. It's always been, part of my life, but I knew that we had good people, at that time that worked for the company. I think with God's help and protection that we survived and frankly thrived.
I think the thrive is the key word here. Neil Asklin, I guess, let me ask you about your dad, Ken Asklin, who partnered with Dave, and they got it going in the 50s and kept it going, and you being part of the company.
I've been around since I was a young teenager, so something that I've grown to love, and the camaraderie and getting things done. And these huge projects that we're doing now just amazes me.
A&R Mechanical, a thriving leader 100 years later. That's a big deal. You can look up how many local businesses have made 100, and there are others. I think Joseph Kuhn probably rates as one. Busey Bank.
Yep.
A&R Mechanical, 100 years. And they have a big banquet I'm honored to host coming up in October just to celebrate their people and the success and the fact that they've done so many impactful projects. I mean, State Farm Center, that's a big job.
Absolutely.
And then to put the piping around in a circle when pipes aren't in a circle.
Right. And that's something that John spoke to is we're reinventing the wheel here because it was round.
It's pretty cool to have
Assembly Hall.
That deep of history within our own community. Okay, so it is Friday. We've noted that 3 weeks from tonight. Some of you will be going to the ball game.
Yes.
Not Peja.
That's right.
Our friend I met it yesterday.
Yes.
At the hospital. Anyway, there's just some people, it's amazing because everything that you're into, you presume it's important enough for everybody to know about. And that isn't true.
That's right.
So it
gives you perspective on the diversity in our community.
And there's some people that live for the, market at the square. They wait every week to go get fresh tomatoes.
I love that we promote that.
Yeah.
I love that people reach out and say, hey, did you know, like this Champagne Whiskey Fest. There's 57 brands of whiskey in downtown Champaign this weekend with a big old tent in that festival plaza. And that's happening tonight and tomorrow. I was like, I haven't heard about this. Why haven't you reached out? So the Champaign Center Partnership is like, hey, it's Wednesday. Can you get on it now and promote this for Friday and Saturday? I'm like a little tight on time.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. No, I'm sure there are great whiskeys.
But who knew how many whiskeys?
I don't know.
Wow.
I think one time is the only time I had whiskey.
Really?
It was a bad outcome.
I had one this week.
That is
Crown
the
Royal.
last official time I ever got drunk was that day.
Okay.
And that was when I was a teenager.
I'm sorry.
But with just I don't think I would like whiskey right now.
and my husband, when I met him on my first blind date with him, and he said, drinking booze really isn't good for you.
Hey, listen, it's everything in moderation.
You got a point.
Everything in moderation. Be careful. Don't drive and all that stuff.
That's right.
But no, it's just make sure the ride shares and all the Ubers and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, plenty of that. But I'm people that are into bourbon and whiskey and they know the fine wines. Actually, Boone's Farm was the last time a teenager. Again.
Hey, don't knock Boone's Farm.
Oh man, it's not.
Strawberry wine.
I actually felt sick for 2 days. So that was it. I said, am I going to be different than a primate and learn? This is dumb.
Good for you.
Thank you. Anyway, we'll be back. The news is next. Again, text us if you'd like. Cardinals and Cubs weekend. It's definitely impactful. Big time for the Cubs. But if the Cardinals can sweep and make a little noise, you never know. It's still plenty of baseball remaining. The NFL is going to get kicked off a week after the Illini.
Absolutely.
Very optimistic. The Chicago Bears will be heard on radio this year on Q96.1.
And coming up on Sunday the 10th when they face the Miami Dolphins in Soldier Field.
Wow, that's crazy.
Here
we go with football.
Let's go.
I got a survey back from Long Branch Steakhouse. They had steak and kebabs up there, so I gave them $50 to go eat.
The kebabs are a feature on Wednesday and Thursday evenings.
How was your overall experience? Excellent. Why? food and service were just wonderful. Desirable menu, excellent. Friendly, excellent. This gives Donnie a little chance of feedback.
Yeah.
How can they get better? Can't think of anything.
Wow.
So there you go. Long Branch for the weekend. Thank you, Lloyd, for your fine review.
Great.
Donnie, certainly appreciate your business. And we love reaching out and helping companies get better and grow and all those wonderful things that we try and do. Get them people to go in and then make sure you're ready when they do come in.
Yeah, like Curtis Orchard this week. Go visit there this weekend.
Oh, man. It's an awesome experience at Curtis Orchard. All right, we'll be back. Don't go away. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I'm Stevie J. We're going to break for the news at 8 o'clock. Thank you for listening on this July 8th. We'll be back for our final hour of the week next. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
They might meet at the end of next week. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin working to finalize a time and place. As the president keeps trying to stop the war in Ukraine, its leader would not be part of these talks.
Meantime, today is the deadline for Putin to agree to peace negotiations or face those sweeping sanctions, including secondary sanctions on countries doing business with Russia, which would be a big deal for Russian oil buyers like China and India. President Trump has not indicated whether he'll move the deadline amid efforts to arrange this summit.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. Israel's security cabinet's approved a plan to escalate the war against Hamas by taking over Gaza City, which Hamas calls a war crime. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee tells Fox that's absurd.
They cannot let this continue to go on. We saw the videos last weekend of hostages. You want to talk about starvation and hunger? The hostages are starving.
It's believed Hamas still has 20 hostages that are still alive. Some of their families are protesting the new Israeli plan for Gaza, fearing hostage deaths. Dozens of Democratic lawmakers who left Texas to block a vote on congressional redistricting that could give the GOP 5 more House seats are being warned to return or else.
They show up today, we're all happy, we can get our business done, and everybody's good. If they do not show up, we will be in an Illinois courtroom.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton tells Fox the Democrats could be jailed and they may try to remove him from office. Democrats say they've broken no laws blocking a vote. Another wildfire is burning in California. It grew fast and it's out of control.
Within that hour and a half, we have flames all over up in the mountains.
More than 2,000 people under evacuation orders around the LA and Ventura County line, about 4,800 acres of burn. They just arrested a suspected gunman in Ohio after a manhunt all morning. He was wanted for shooting and wounding 2 police officers in East Cleveland last night. They're in stable condition. So are 2 Pennsylvania state troopers the day after they were ambushed and wounded near Thompson, north of Philadelphia, responding to a deadly shooting. The gunman was killed in a standoff with police. America's listening to Fox News.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The U.S. has upped the ante, trying to take down the leader of a country, Venezuela.
The reward now stands at $50 million for information leading to the arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro over allegations of drug trafficking and links to criminal gangs. Attorney General Pam Bondi accused him of collaborating with criminal groups in a social media post.
Maduro uses foreign terrorist organizations like TDA, Sinaloa, and Cartel of the Suns to bring deadly drugs and violence into our country.
U.S. prosecutors charged Maduro with drug trafficking in 2020 when the reward was originally set at $15 million. It was increased to $25 million in January when Maduro was sworn in for a third term. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Now, there's a $10,000 reward in Montana for info leading to the arrest of a suspected quadruple murderer. Michael Brown, an Army veteran, is accused of shooting 4 people to death in a bar in Anaconda a week ago. A judge in Florida has blocked new construction at what's called Alligator Alcatraz, the detention center for illegal immigrants before deportation that Democrats criticized as inhumane cages for people. The ruling comes after legal challenges over environmental issues. Now there's another facility that'll be built in Indiana called the Speedway Slammer and another one in Texas.
Pentagon Press Secretary Kingsley Wilson announced during a Thursday briefing that the largest federal migrant detention facility to date began construction in mid-July at Fort Bliss, Texas.
Work has begun for initial detainment capacity of 1,000 illegal aliens, with initial operating capacity likely to be achieved by mid-late August.
But Wilson says that's just the initial phase.
We will finish construction for up to 5,000 beds in the weeks and months ahead.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising before the opening bell this hour, the day after the NASDAQ closed at another record high. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois police officers now required to have more training to respond to sexual abuse and sexual assault cases. After a sexual assault, one problem survivors often say they face is law enforcement re-traumatizing them with certain questions. With the new law, officers are trained to be more empathetic when talking to survivors. Illinois Law Enforcement Training Standards Board says they're already working to add the topic to training officers that they go through. Champaign County coroner released the identity of the motorcyclist died in a two-car crash in Champaign County Tuesday. 35-year-old Andrew Ward of Allerton crashing at 1600 East and Old Church Road near Urbana. Police are investigating. Champaign County Sheriff's deputy hurt in a crash in Urbana early Thursday morning. Two-car crash happened around 4:15 at the intersection of Florida Avenue and Lincoln Avenue in Urbana. The department has not said if the deputy was responding to a call or had lights and sirens activated at the time. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. ESPN 93.5. Meteorologist Greg Soye. It's good news. I looked at my 12 hours I did of weeding last weekend, and I see little sprouts, not much. So I'm going to spray my beds this weekend so that they try not to come back in fervor, because it's impossible.
Now be careful. Be careful.
I know.
Because it's 90 degree, 92 degree heat, and sometimes when you use that stuff, you end up burning out more than you really want to.
So maybe it's too hot. Maybe.
Yeah. That's what we tell our producer friends. They sometimes got to forego spraying when it's the right time of the year to spray, but temperatures may be a little bit too elevated.
I don't know. I'm back to my method of just chop off the top and make it even with the others, so you just have some greenery around the main flowers.
Gotcha.
And throw some mulch over it. Done. Out.
Yeah, no, I
wait for the snow.
Thank you, Greg.
It's much.
Who wants to weed for 12 hours last week? Who says that?
Yeah,
what's a weed, by the way?
I tell you one thing. It's just getting. Again, this is therapy. So it
is. Yes.
I look over and I say, "That's not a plant. Come here." And I go get it.
I see.
I want it to be clean.
This is a way.
Yeah,
for
my
you
house
to...
is kind of on the corner, so you kind of people come into the neighborhood, they see our lawn. There's that pressure.
The centerpiece of the neighborhood.
We just want to make it look nice and curb appeal, all those things. So
that's it.
Anyway, we
pride in homeownership.
I just put the flag out and call it good. People can focus on the flag and say yes.
Look up, hey. No, I get it. But it's been a battle. We'll leave for a week and come back, and the things are waist high. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, so it didn't feel like it. And listen, this heat is not 110 heat indice like we had, I think. So
no, it's manageable.
Much more manageable. All right, our did I do Kramer's siding? I did.
No, you did not. Not yet.
Actually,
I was going to ask if I go or wait for
I think we're all covered right now because I just did it when you weren't here.
That's
so
right.
Greg Sollier, our meteorologist, has our look at the weekend, sir.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we need a head coach for the medical people, and we need a producer for the show.
No, that's right. No, this is all off the cuff. We appreciate
come knock
that.
on the door, folks. We'll bring you in.
Come on.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway,
nice morning out there. A little on the close side. A little patchy haze and fog still lingers in a couple of spots. And other than that, weather pretty quiet. Some shower activity down across Florida. Tropics getting a little more active. Not the right setup to get things cooking out there. Social media people are going crazy on every little thing that comes off the African coast. It's still going to be a while before things get going, as we remain in the midst of generally hot, high pressure up aloft, ebbing and flowing on temperatures, humidity levels, and hopefully some decent rain chances considering the time of year. And that expected to play out here late in the weekend, early next week. Significant big-time rains, parts of the drier reaches of northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and have had almost too much water of late back westward in through Iowa, where the heat advisories now. That's going to be a tough go of it over the western Corn Belt, parts of the plains. Heat index values pushing 110 to shy of 115 the next couple of days. But around here, not bad. 73 over at Rantoul at the current time, and reading over at Willard and Savoy in at 76. Heading towards an afternoon high today of about 90. Light southeast wind, sunshine, the rule. And tonight, a little muggier, 71. Hot, humid, about 92. More of a breeze, though, from the south. And a bit of a breeze on Sunday. Increasing clouds, maybe an isolated late-day thunderstorm at 91. 90 on Monday, better than even odds for a couple of thunderstorm clusters and spots. Same on Tuesday. Highs there close to 90. We're back in the upper 80s. Slightly drier air Wednesday, Thursday. Maybe another thunderstorm or two late next week on Friday as we head back towards the 90-degree mark. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Now, the president has talked about federalizing Washington, D.C. because of the crime issues, and that would mean federal government take over. I didn't know that was a possibility, but apparently it is. So anyway, beginning tonight in our nation's capital, you're going to see a lot of police presence. The White House spokeswoman, Caroline Leavitt, said there will be no safe harbors for criminals to hide beginning tonight in Washington, D.C. Isn't Washington kind of big?
Right.
There's a lot of streets. And then I'm thinking, of course, my brain, I'm thinking, is this a template? Can I do this in Chicago?
Right.
It's going to be a lot bigger.
Although they're saying numbers of violent crimes are dropping. And the numbers are better in Chicago.
I
There's
think
not as many murders.
There are things, I'm not sure. There are some elements of crime that are down in Chicago, but there are some that I believe are up. HeyJackass.com is a quick look.
Yes.
And has all that information, but it's a huge crime issue. So because the Chicago police told me years ago the city is lost. We'll never get it back. Maybe the Donald Trump federalizing all these police officers everywhere, is that possible? And how many thousands of troops would that take? But maybe there'll be a moratorium. I mean, obviously there are neighborhoods in Washington, D.C. that should need to be in more intensely, right? I mean, Chicago, same way. You know, you can see all the neighborhoods. It's near the south side, and there's this, and you don't go near it because it's just dangerous. But if they're all out there in full gear and tanks or whatever they're going to have, you're probably not going to get away with as much.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's an answer, divine intervention, because you just got a major infrastructure in these big cities of crime. And they're doing prostitution and drugs and gambling. Gambling's legal. I mean, all this stuff, the drugs and prostitution and rings of stuff. And anyway, so I don't know. But fascinating to see how this looks in Washington, D.C. tonight, to see if there's any way you can curb the violent crime. This kid that was part of Doge got a dozen kids beating on him and during a carjacking.
Well, and it looks
3
like, on the TV now, the woman that was, getting beat up, that this person was trying to defend, right?
She was in Cincinnati, and some man clocked her and knocked her out, and probably she might have damage for life in her face.
Right.
And she spoke last night to Laura Ingraham. I did not hear that interview, but no, it's just enough. So we'll see. But if Washington, D.C. is adamant about you can't hide anywhere, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see what that means, because that's, I think we'd all want that. We can't get away with that anymore. All right, it is 8:13. I am going to call Brother Johnny here in just a bit.
Sounds good. The Davey O'Brien preseason watch list is out, and Luke Altmaier is one of 36 quarterbacks that could get this national award. He's already on that Walter Camp and Maxwell watch list for awards. Nathan Shieldhouse in 2012 was on the Davey O'Brien preseason watch list. So go Illini.
Yeah, go Illini.
And, there's this Jack Gray, an Australian that was promoted or recruited for the class of 2026. And, we have that Australian guy who was in here who's been a kicker. Evidently, they have this Pro Kick Australia program. and they have a different style of football, right?
No, they play
Football
rugby.
and rugby,
and then they move to the side and kind of kick it long and low.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the Aussie kickers are good. We got another Australian. He's good. Hugh Robertson was the man you're referencing.
That's right.
He was a great guy working in Champaign-Urbana with that great Aussie accent.
Mm-hmm.
He was a guy that was part of the fake punt against Michigan that was huge. He jumped really high as if the ball had gone over his head, and Michigan bit on it, and the guy ran up the middle. Anyway, it was a great fake.
Yeah.
And so that was key in the Illini victory last fall.
Yeah, Keelan Cribbins or something like that. In any case, and Hugh Robertson, was he the one that was in studio here?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
So Illinois Volleyball Fan Day will be coming up on August 23rd, so we're taking note of that. We got to get our Nighthawk Coach Chris Thomas.
I want to talk to the Nighthawk
to talk about things before that. And, things are creeping up on us, Stevie. It's amazing.
Yeah.
August 9th on Saturday from 5:30 to 6:30, you've got autographs in the north end zone as they have their family movie night, and selected with free admission at 7 o'clock. Remember the Titans.
Great
will
movie.
be shown on the Jumbotron.
Great screen and great sound.
Presented by Busey Bank.
Yeah.
Thank them for that. And, you're not bringing your lawn chairs that could poke into it, but you can bring a towel or some kind of blanket or whatever to sit on, and you can sit in the stands and things like that too. It's a great scene for the kids, because if they're not into the movie on that end, then they can throw the football or frisbee or whatever on the other end,
like you do at the drive-in in Gibson City.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those are some things that are trending in Illini Nation. For us, it's all about the Cubs and the Cardinals. Let's get more details.
The Cardinals enjoyed an off day yesterday after taking 2 of 3 from the Dodgers. They last played on Wednesday, winning by a 5-3 score, and tonight they are back at home for a 9-game homestand. It starts with a 3-game weekend series against the Chicago Cubs. The Cardinals tonight are going to send Michael McGreevy to the mound. The rookie comes in with a 3-2 record, a 5.08 ERA. Over his last 2 starts, he's gone 10 2/3 innings, allowing 11 runs on 16 hits. He faced the Cubs for a first time in his career on June 24th, allowing 5 runs on 7 hits in 4 2/3 innings. The Cardinals won that game 8-7. It'll be Matthew Boyd on the mound for the Cubs tonight. He's 11-4 with a 2.34 ERA career against the Cardinals, 3-1, 1.29 ERA. 7:15 first pitch. That means our coverage gets underway at 6:20. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
Okay. There you go. Cardinals, Cubs, always fun. A little more on the line for the Cubs, I would say.
Matthew Boyd on the mound.
Okay, Cubs, he's pretty good. And the Cubs got 5 games with the Milwaukee Brewers in Chicago coming up.
Ooh, boy.
Makeup game and then 4-game series. That's huge, but boy, you just got to stay close. They're like 4 back.
Right.
You need to get to 3 or 2, I think. That'd be better. Hey, don't rely on the classroom, parents. Talk budgets with your kids. Show them a credit report. Explain how their behavior with credit matters and that you let it float. It floats for a long time. Paying a lot of interest. Open up an account in their name in your bank. Teach them about fraud. There are people that are horrible on some of the things they try and take from you. Budgeting. How much can you spend? And try and keep track of that. Very important. And also, Busey has mobile and online services. Students can manage finances whenever, wherever they want. You got the Busey wallet where you can view balances, transfer funds right on the spot. Busey's digital banking, you can control and monitor finances that way. And then the bill pay where you see your credit card and you say, I got to pay this $150 on it. Busey understands the demands of back to school. Simplify your finances with their mobile and online services and educational services. Just go to Busey.com, call them at 800-67-BUSEY. Or stop by one of their many convenient locations today. Busey for over 155 years, since 1868. Member FDIC. U of I started in 1867.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a long, long time ago. I just always think about what that looks like when you're starting a university and, land grant university in Illinois. That's the hometown. That's big time. And Chicago's kind of wanted it for a long time, and Champaign-Urbana got it. Big deal. I mean, can you imagine our town without the University of Illinois? Wow, we love them. We're thankful for the 144 nations that come here, whatever that number is. It's impressive.
Right.
And then the level of education we provide here. Forget politics, the level of the engineers in Granger Engineering. Oh my gosh, the business school's grown like crazy.
Yeah.
Our traditions in sports have been very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's a fun place to live. And when you can go to a major sporting event or major concert and home in 10 minutes, that's just cool.
Great. Go Illini.
Go Illini. All right, we check your weekend now with our meteorologist Greg Solier on this Friday, July 8th. How are we looking here, buddy boy?
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Classic midsummer time, early August weather into the weekend. Much of next week as well. Some heat, some humidity, and a couple of thunderstorm chances rolled in, especially early next week as well. A little more in the way of low clouds and some patchy fog in some spots to contend with this morning. Otherwise, it'll be sunshine the rule. Afternoon temperatures hot and humid, up around 90. Light southeast wind, a bit gusty for the afternoon as well. Muggy tonight at 71. Sunshine, hot, humid tomorrow at 92. Pick up on the south wind. Creasing clouds for the day on Sunday. Hot, humid with maybe a late day thunderstorm and a spot or two at 91. Scattered thunderstorms for Monday and Tuesday next week. Humidity stays up through early next week. Daytime readings either side of the 90-degree mark. Low 70s at night. Lingering shower chance early Wednesday. Partly sunny, bit less humid. Highs at 88. We're heading towards the 90-degree mark late next week with a thunderstorm chance late next week as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Fewer people are going to Wendy's. It's cutting its full-year forecast for sales and earnings. It sees global sales down as much as 5% this year. Interim CEO Ken Cook stepped in after Wendy's previous chief executive left to lead Hershey last month. Cook says in the U.S. we have work to do to improve the overall performance of the business. Under Armour shares are down nearly 13%. It's warning its profit will be weak in the current quarter because of tariffs. Intel shares are up 1%, though. Its CEO, Lip-Bu Tan, says the U.S. has been his home for more than 40 years. He loves this country, also loves Intel. President Trump has called for Lip-Bu Tan's resignation, saying he had too many business ties with China. Tan says he is engaging with the administration. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
It's Will Kane Country.
The two guys on Trigonometry say we can't even get leftists to come onto our podcast. I know that I have trouble booking leftists for debate because they don't want to debate. They don't want to converse. They want to enforce their viewpoint.
Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday at foxnews.com or on the Fox News YouTube channel. And don't miss the show. Listen and follow the podcast 5 days a week at foxnewspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
The Champaign Parks Foundation, with support from GHR Engineers, Christie Clinic Illinois Race Weekend, and Lynn Ryle, invites you to join them for their third annual Ties and Tinnies Gala on Thursday, September 4th at the iHotel. This year's event is headlined by Fighting Illini women's basketball coach Shauna Green. Attendees can also expect drinks, a plated dinner, a silent auction, and more. Help the Champaign Parks Foundation reach its fundraising goal of $125,000. Get more details now at champaignparks.org. Friday nights in August, it's Farmer City Raceway with their full show plus kids mods brought to you by Nutrien. Adults are $15, veterans $10, kids 12 and under are free. Hot laps around the quarter-mile dirt track start at 6:30. Head to 850 Grove Street in Farmer City before the final Friday, August 29th, with $5,000 to win for the Mars Late Models during the Chuck Wagon Food Service Richardson Memorial Modifieds and Pro Late Model Racing. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. We're flooring people.
Well, I made it all the way to St. Louis. Brother Johnny on his way home to New Orleans, and you drove to Lambert Field. How was traffic at about 7 in the morning in St. Louis?
Not bad. Well, we left at 5 and it's at 2:45. 2:45. So the trucks were just cranking it up, just starting. We snuck in under the wire, Stevie.
Woo! Okay, so, 245. That's a good mental note. You had to take 44.
Well, now you got to leave at 5 o'clock because there aren't any traffic.
Yeah, so it could be at least 3 hours if you're just going to St. Louis Lampert Field. So okay.
Yeah, like in the afternoon, I would guess.
Yep. All right. So I don't know. I'm sure you didn't see it because you went to bed last night. But Greg Gutfeld was on with Jimmy Fallon, and
I did not see that.
The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. How do you think it went? What would you have guessed?
With Jimmy Fallon and Greg Gutfeld? I mean, I can't really guess. If you know those two guys, they were a two-man comedy team like Bowie and I at the Centennial.
Right. Well, I'm telling you what, I think it was absolute gold, and I think he gave him the template of how you do this show because it was stories. It was not political. It was funny. And so here's just an example. Apparently, Gutfeld had met Jimmy Fallon years earlier.
To the show.
That brought back memories.
Yeah, this is hilarious. We've met before.
Yes, you have no memory of it, which is understandable because we were wasted.
Okay.
But we have a mutual friend named Tracy. We won't get into it. He looks like a cross between a Viking and a larger Viking.
I know Tracy.
Yes. So he opens a bar. It's an illegal speakeasy in Hell's Kitchen. It was like the size of a shipping container.
How many years ago? This is
about 15 years, I think. And inside, it looks like a place where special ops forces waterboard terrorists.
Oh my God. It wasn't that bad.
Dude.
It was actually.
Dude, there was the bar. There was no bar. It was a cooler, like the kind you take to a beach. So we go in there, and there's a cooler.
Dude, you're not making this up. I totally know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yes, you remember this.
I think I remember bringing beer into the bar and then him charging me for my own beer.
That's Tracy. That is Tracy. He is very cheap, but if you want somebody dead, he'll do it. But so I walk into this bar, and I'm with my friend Andy. We just got off shooting something, and I walk in, and I'm looking around. I go, what the hell have I got it into? And then I see you, and you look at me, and you have your eyes just kind of explode, and you run towards me, and you tackle me like you're like a giant golden retriever.
Anyway, it goes on, Johnny, and it was good. It really was.
And this was the Tonight Show, you said?
The Tonight Show. This is the big. But here you have inviting the competitor on with you, who's beating you in ratings. Highly unusual. Highly, and they didn't really talk about his show because his show goes on a half hour earlier than Jimmy Fallon. And of the three, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Fallon, I'd take Jimmy Fallon every day. I mean, he's, I think, better and less of an agenda. But that's what I'm talking about late night. And I'm wondering if Gutfeld gets the network guys talking, going, that's what we need.
Well, give it a shot. I mean, they had to cancel for Goldberg. That's good. They're not getting the best ratings at late night. And some of that, I don't know, the pattern of the modern America might be changing too, where they just don't watch that anymore. Who knows?
I don't know. I just think that there's just a way to do this thing, and Johnny Carson never took a stand on it. He said, that's not what I do. Mm-hmm. I entertain people. I'm not going to take a position. Because there's Democrats that need to laugh too, Republicans need to laugh.
No, that was great about. Yeah, I think that's what you're looking for.
Yeah,
it's hard to stay away from politics if you try to play it fair because it's so funny.
Right. Well, Well, what he said though, he talked about his television show that many don't even know exists called "What Did I Miss?" And they sequester 5 humans for 100 days. And then he said, with Trump, you never know. And it's really hard to know. He said, I'm going to annex Canada, true or false? And these people go, what? And it's true. Mm-hmm. So it's a show that got renewed. They give these people 25.
Did it really? Because I didn't know where that was going to go.
Yeah. No. It was.
We need to find some more to do in this country.
How can you sequester? One guy had 5 kids,
right?
And he sequestered for 100 days away from the family. Man.
Well, they can win $1 million.
No, they give him $25,000. That's it. It's not enough.
For how many weeks?
It's 100 days. So it's lots.
3 months.
Jiminy, that's not enough.
And it's in a house of quiet. No TV, no phones, no nothing.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. Anyway, I'm glad you're there. I'm going to run to the news, but we'll catch up next week. I wonder if Vladimir Putin will meet with Donald Trump. I wonder if there's any chance of that. I don't know.
Well, there's a chance. So it's kind of up to Putin, I think. He's not going to be able to just have a meeting and say, we didn't get anywhere, because he's going to have to tell Trump something. And Trump will take a chance on him. because he just wants into war. He's not really.
No,
he doesn't want to be made an idiot out of him, but he also was willing to go and he's got no political equity to worry about at this point.
Yeah.
So he's going to try to get that done. It'd be great.
I mean, and Trump is just continually mentioning how awful 5,000 deaths a week are. He says, we got to stop the death. We got to stop this.
It's bad. And, the Ukrainians are, Mike Ditka was an old Ukrainian.
He's Ukrainian.
And he, and there's a lot of great guys and gals over there, and it's just a shame. But hopefully, maybe they'll come to an end. So.
Yeah. Johnny, good job getting to Lambert Field, St. Louis. Enjoy the flight home and be safe, and we'll catch up next week.
All right, Stevie.
Thanks,
all right,
Johnny.
Diane.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Had a great time.
Oh, by the way, last thing, I got 30 seconds left, but you spoke at the Vineyard yesterday with Diane.
Thanks for going to the pastor's
That's so
luncheon.
awesome. Heard you did great.
About the summer camp.
Yeah.
And Mark wants you there. I told him I might have to bring you, but he wants you there. It's a good group of folks and good networking. And we just had a great time.
Well,
that's right.
Godly men and women. That's an awesome event.
And thanks for all you do as the president of Youth Conference Ministries.
That's awesome, Johnny.
Well,
awesome.
It's a good place to take middle schoolers and high school to our camp and just focus on the gospel message, which right now they get a lot of messages, and that's one they need to hear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Johnny. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Back to school means back to Jets. Right now, get a build your own large 2-topping pizza for just $14.99 with code JETS101. Choose your crust, Detroit style, hand tossed, or thin, and make it yours with bold flavors like turbo, butter, garlic, or Cajun. Perfect for feeding hungry kindergartners all the way to worn out grad students. For a limited time, get your large 2-topping pizza for $14.99 now at jetspizza.com with code JETS101. It's not just pizza, it's Jets Pizza.
Reese Crowley. Israel is going in to occupy Gaza City after a 10-hour meeting of the Israeli Security Cabinet voting to disarm Hamas, recover all the hostages, control Gaza, and establish a new government that's not Hamas. U.S. Ambassador Mike Huckabee tells Fox.
They cannot let this continue to go on. We saw the videos last weekend of hostages. You want to talk about starvation and hunger? The hostages are starving. It's a tough situation, and Israel did not start it, but it looks like they're the only ones who are going to be able to finish it.
President Trump wants to be peacemaker, with the White House planning a possible sit-down with Russian President Putin end of next week. President Trump orders federal law enforcement to increase its presence on the streets of D.C., saying the city council is treating violent juveniles like children. America's listening to Fox News.
Friday nights in August, it's Farmer City Raceway with their full show plus kids mods brought to you by Nutrient. Adults are $15, veterans $10, kids 12 and under are free. Hot laps around the quarter-mile dirt track start at 6:30. Head to 850 Grove Street in Farmer City before the final Friday, August 29th, with $5,000 to win for the Mars late models during the Chuck Wagon Food Service Richardson Memorial Modifieds and Pro Late Model Racing. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers, bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World Command Center.
Paul, we have extreme heat warning. Summer 2025 is a hot one in Champaign-Urbana.
That's trouble for garage refrigerators.
One just went down in Rantoul. They need delivery right away, Paul.
Put them on for tomorrow. What's going on down here in Fisher?
It's a window air conditioner going out.
Can't have that. Good thing we deliver and install window ACs. We have plenty in stock.
Garage freezer NB man. Customer wants a technician out right away. She's afraid her beef is thawing.
Hate it when that happens. We have a tech in the area. Send Nate right over.
Copy that.
Team, it's like we talk about. At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, we know what hot weather can do to home appliances. More importantly, we're always ready for the heat with fast, friendly repair service and delivery, plus the largest selection of appliances in Champaign-Urbana.
Paul, customer in Muhammad, needs a portable dehumidifier ASAP. Says his tools are rusting out from the humidity.
That can happen. We have dehumidifiers for pickup or fast delivery. Remember, at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, you get the whole store.
Wow!
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Do you know some young people getting too much screen time? Come to the Urbana Park District free Teen Hangout Zone, happening select Fridays each month between 3:30 and 6. There are video games, snacks, crafts, other games. The Teen Hangout Zones are a great chance to meet new friends. And each month, it's free for grades 6 through 12 only. For a full schedule, visit urbanaparks.org.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign County Sheriff's deputy hurt in a crash in Urbana Thursday morning. Two-car crash happened around 4:15 at the intersection of Florida Avenue and Lincoln Avenue. Department says it's not sure if the deputy was responding to a call or had lights and siren activated. Authorities naming the man killed in a crash this week near Urbana. Andrew Ward died following Tuesday's accident in the 1600 block of East at Old Church Road. Autopsy was conducted. That crash remains under investigation. Illinois' Attorney General warning Illinoisans to be on the lookout for back-to-school scams. He says scammers trying to take advantage of students and their families that try to trick consumers into paying for services or items that they likely never receive, or sharing personal data that scammers can use to steal consumers' identities. And that's a check of what's happening here on your Friday. Have a safe, fun weekend. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana vicinity. Classic midsummer time, early August weather into the weekend. Much of next week as well. Some heat, some humidity, and a couple of thunderstorm chances rolled in, especially early next week as well. A little more in the way of low clouds and some patchy fog in some spots to contend with this morning. Otherwise, it'll be sunshine the rule. Afternoon temperatures hot and humid, up around 90. Light southeast wind, a bit gusty for the afternoon as well. Buggy tonight at 71. Sunshine, hot, humid tomorrow at 92. Pick up on the south wind. Creasing clouds for the day on Sunday. Hot, humid with maybe a late day thunderstorm and a spot or two at 91. Scattered thunderstorms for Monday and Tuesday next week. Humidity stays up through early next week. Daytime readings either side of the 90-degree mark. Low 70s at night. Lingering shower chance early Wednesday. Partly sunny, bit less humid. Highs at 88. We're heading towards the 90-degree mark late next week with a thunderstorm chance late next week as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Attention drivers. When it comes to your car, trust matters. That's why savvy drivers choose PDR Automotive for top-notch service and unbeatable quality. From routine maintenance to complex repairs, their team of expert technicians has the skill and experience to keep your vehicle running smoothly. At PDR Automotive, customer satisfaction is their priority, and they won't rest until your car is back on the road performing at its best. Visit PDR Automotive in Urbana today, family-owned and operated for more than 50 years. They're what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
When the storm rolls in, where will you go? Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family with a custom storm shelter from Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services. At Berg Tanks, their shelters are fiberglass and plate steel safe rooms that can be installed in your garage or exterior, in ground, or on a concrete pad. Built to withstand the toughest storms, giving you a safe, secure place when you need it most. Whether you need a compact unit for a small space or a larger shelter for the whole family, they've got you covered. Their expert team handles everything from excavation to installation so you can have peace of mind before the next storm strikes. Berg Septic also specializes in septic pumping, new system installation, grease trap cleanings, repairs, and maintenance plans to keep your home running smoothly. Call Berg Septic and Storm Shelter Services today at 217-367-8632 or visit them online at bergtanksinc.com. That's BERGtanksinc.com.
Friday nights in August, it's Farmer City Raceway with their full show plus kids mods brought to you by Nutrient. Adults are $15, veterans $10, kids 12 and under are free. Hot laps around the quarter-mile dirt track start at 6:30. Head to 850 Grove Street in Farmer City before the final Friday, August 29th, with $5,000 to win for the Mars late models during the Chuck Wagon Food Service Richardson Memorial Modifieds and Pro Late Model Racing. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Yeah, right on.
That's tonight, 6:30. I'm telling you, throughout the month of August, people are thinking to themselves, oh man, summer's over, and they're pivoting to back to school. Enjoy the week. There's still stuff to do every day in Champaign-Urbana.
You only have 3 days till Unity starts, though.
I'm freaking out. But I'm telling everybody to
school
relax
at
and
Unit
enjoy
7.
the last few days of summer.
School at Unit 7 is in. I don't know when Unit 4 or Unit 116 start.
I feel like it's the 14th. It's at the end of next week.
Football practices are, of course, going. I don't think they ever stopped. I think, for the college guys, I think Scott Hamilton is logging some serious golf cart times in
He
final.
is. It's about this time every day. We should have him on the show.
Why doesn't he look stressed? Oh, that's because he's retired.
Exactly.
He'll follow the Unity Rockets in football, a Hall of Fame coach.
I've been seeing some of the, videos of some of our area teams and what they're doing practice-wise. It's so wild to see the bubble wrap on the helmet.
No,
why don't we do that during the game?
I said this years ago. They should have like a Nerf helmet to where they essentially do, and some guys are wearing them in games now. Because somebody like their girlfriend or parents got and said, listen, look, we know all about CTE now. Mm-hmm. We have absolute medical proof that when you bang your head a lot on the wall, it's bad.
Right.
So wear that sponge thing. And I think we're past that looks dorky. I think we're into protecting their head for the rest of their life. Mm-hmm. And so, this latest shooter in New York City had CTE. He played high school football.
Right.
He had brain damage.
Yeah.
He went trying to shoot a lot
ago.
And for some reason wanted to go shoot the NFL.
Right.
He was never in the NFL.
And then he killed himself, and he said you had a note saying use my brain.
Right.
Because you can only use the brain after the person has passed away.
Doesn't make a great deal of sense to think about hitting your head a lot is a good idea. I can't find any medical person that will say that. So we accept it because it's a sport that people love, and I understand, and I watch it and follow it and all that. Mm-hmm. But if we can come up with a spongy solution, I don't care what it looks like, and people still hit each other hard and you still get hurt.
Yeah.
But if it alleviates even 10% of the CTEs and the headaches and all the things that go with getting your head hit, I think it's great. I don't think it obviously doesn't look slick and like you're a bad dude, but it's protecting your head.
Right.
And I'm glad to see it's getting much more acceptance. And that they'll probably never have regular helmets in practice again. Why would you?
Do they have little shortwave radios in the headset?
The quarterback does.
Okay.
It's just like the pitchers all do in baseball now. You don't have signs by the catcher anymore because you steal them. Houston Astros is probably responsible for that, to get a little clever on how you tell them to throw a curveball.
With the banging on the garbage cans.
Well, they were stealing it with video with the catcher's fingers, and the catchers used to lay down the signals. Now they just hear them in their ear. So there's no taking them from that. So sometimes the microphones and stuff aren't working, so they have to switch them out. And the catcher and the pitcher totally are on the page, but they don't have to put signals down anymore. These catchers used to paint their fingernails white or pink so they could see them. And so now that's all gone. That's all gone. It's now
when you think of the evolution of this all, and when baseball started and the Babe Ruth days, and they never thought about any of this.
Well, and think about the instant replays where the Cardinals have beaten Kansas City in '85, have not the bad call.
Yeah,
they're still talking about it. I can still tell you the umpire's name. That's so now you have a little backstop for the umpires of the replays, and next year I think you're going to have that challenge for the balls and strikes because you get called out on a bad pitch. It's not good. And so you have 2 a game. It does not slow the game down. I'm watching it in AAA, and it's a 10-second event.
Right.
That's it.
Because you're watching Jacob Hurtubise under the Houston Astros minor league team, and they have a computer that has a sensor, right?
No, it just shows the ball, and if it touches the corner of any side of the plate, it turns red. And it's over. It's a strike. If it misses, it tells you by how much. They challenged last night from the Sacramento team playing Sugarland AAA for Houston. They challenged last night. The guy was 1.5 inches off. That was a miss. A lot of times they'll be 0.2. I mean, it's so close.
Man.
And it tells you how good the umpires are actually. They get them that close when they're just talking about the black part of the plate and it skims it and it's a strike and it's a ball. But that's going to be in big leagues next year. I'm pretty positive about that.
Fascinating.
8:44.
When feeling better can't wait, visit Christie Clinic Convenient Care. Convenient locations, hours to fit your schedule, and no appointment necessary. Plus, you don't have to be a Christie Clinic patient. Receive health care when and where you need it with Christie Clinic Convenient Care. Christie Clinic accepts Health Alliance and most other major insurance plans. Visit ChristieClinic.com to find the convenient care closest to you.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World Command Center.
Paul, we have extreme heat warning. Summer 2025 is a hot one in Champaign-Urbana.
That's trouble for garage refrigerators.
One just went down in Rantoul. They need delivery right away, Paul.
Put them on for tomorrow. What's going on down here in Fisher?
It's a window air conditioner going out.
Can't have that. Good thing we deliver and install window ACs. We have plenty in stock.
Garage freezer NB man. Customer wants a technician out right away. She's afraid her beef is thawing.
Hate it when that happens. We have a tech in the area. Send Nate right over.
Copy that.
Team, it's like we talk about. At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, we know what hot weather can do to home appliances. More importantly, we're always ready for the heat with fast, friendly repair service and delivery, plus the largest selection of appliances in Champaign-Urbana.
Paul, customer in Muhammad, needs a portable dehumidifier ASAP. Says his tools are rusting out from the humidity.
That can happen. We have dehumidifiers for pickup or fast delivery. Remember, at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, you get the whole store.
Wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
It's the Urbana Park District's 2nd annual Central Illinois Bat Fest, happening Saturday, September 6th. Join them at the Anita Purvis Nature Center from 1 to 4:30 p.m. for a free, family-friendly afternoon all about one of nature's most fascinating creatures, bats. They have hands-on kid activities, live expert talks, exhibitor tables, and yes, food trucks to keep you fueled. Questions? Call 217-384-4062 or visit urbanaparks.org.
Hi, this is Les Hovland with Philo Exchange Bank. At our banks, we know the hearts of our communities beat with the rhythm of agriculture. Ag lending continues to be something we've excelled at for over 140 years. To you, the farmer, your business has been built on trusted relationships. When it comes to your banking relationship, we want to be your trusted partner.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We're talking to John Reichert from A&R Mechanical. 100 years in our community. So many buildings in this town, like Memorial Stadium. Of course, the State Farm Center. Can you remember the reaction from the company getting that? Because that's a big one.
Oh, that was huge. If you just think about it a little bit, everything we put in is straight, pipe is straight. We're putting all that into a round building. And, it took a lot of know-how to make that project happen. It was one of the first projects we did using our new technologies. And the timing was just right. We were the right people for that project, and I think we did it successfully.
The legacy of A&R. John, I could almost say, what haven't you built? Up and down campus, the Siebel Center was fairly new for computer science.
Everybody was working as a team, and I think it came out very well.
A&R Mechanical has helped build Carl at the Fields expansion and other Carl projects in Provena and Sarah Bush Lincoln. The list goes on and on. Visit them at ar-mech.com.
St. Louis Cardinals using Michael McGreevy on the mound at Busch as they host the Chicago Cubs with Matthew Boyd on the bump. It's a 6:15 start tomorrow, 7:15 today. You'll hear the action here on ESPN 93.5 or US 105.9.
Both.
Seattle took over Chicago White Sox at the end of the game in 11 innings, 4-3 yesterday. Cleveland and the Chicago White Sox start up a series at 6:40 tonight. Preseason football is underway. Colts fans noted that Baltimore won 24-16 yesterday, and that Anthony Richardson, quarterback, with this right pinky dislocated day to day at this point. Saturday, New York is in Green Bay. Sunday, the 10th, Miami's in Chicago. And we're going to see how that goes over on Q96.
Yep, we do have the Bears on WQQB Q96.1. And this Sunday, we'll have a practice run on the preseason game. So we'll run it on radio Sunday.
Uh-huh.
If you feel like tuning in. I'm actually not sure when they play Sunday, but sometime
I think
Sunday.
it's noon, and then I think New Orleans and L.A. Is that the Chargers then?
Could be. Don't they have the Rams and the Chargers? They have Rams and Chargers.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Or what's this Las Vegas team?
That's the Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah.
The California stuff confuses me.
Uh-huh.
They switch
they
around
move
so
around.
much.
Yeah, Oakland is now got nobody.
Right.
Because their baseball team's moving to Vegas too.
Right.
So,
Davey O'Brien preseason watch list. Luke Altmaier, one of 36 quarterbacks that could get the tap to win that award at the end of the season. Go Illini.
Our radio group has never picked up a sports team that hasn't won a championship under our tutelage. So, pressure's on now for the Bears to win another Super Bowl.
Go.
Maybe.
Remember, The Titans is the movie tomorrow on the Jumbotron, if you want to take note of that, at Memorial Stadium at 7.
And it starts early.
5:30 to 6:30 autographs with the players at Memorial Stadium. Totally free event, thanks to Busey.
Yeah, that's nice of them to sponsor that. So 5:30, and it's free, and you bring your own popcorn?
I think they have concessions there.
Okay, very good. That'd be fun. Remember, I love the movie.
Yeah, me too.
All right, here's your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Well, we get everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Classic midsummer time, early August weather. Some heat, some humidity, and chancy rainfall prospects, in particular as we get into the early portion of next week, late next week as well. So hang in there with patchy dryness and a little moderate drought in a couple of areas based on yesterday's drought monitor. No rain today, sunshine, hot and more humid weather, the high around 90, southeast wind, the gusty and open areas for the afternoon, a little patchy ground fog and some low stratus in spots here for the early to mid morning hour. Mostly clear tonight, 71, mostly sunny, hot, humid tomorrow up to 92, gusty or south wind, will bottom out muggy at 72 for tomorrow night. Clouds build for the day on Sunday, maybe a late day thunderstorm and a spot or two at 91. Scattered thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday at 90 Monday, 89 to 90 Tuesday. The air dries out a little bit for Wednesday, Thursday next week with readings into the upper 80s, back up to around 90 and a thunderstorm chance for late next week on Friday as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
The Champaign Parks Foundation, with support from GHR Engineers, Christie Clinic Illinois Race Weekend, and Lynn Ryle, invites you to join them for their third annual Ties and Tinnies Gala on Thursday, September 4th at the iHotel. This year's event is headlined by Fighting Illini women's basketball coach Shauna Green. Attendees can also expect drinks, a plated dinner, a silent auction, and more. Help the Champaign Parks Foundation reach its fundraising goal of $125,000. Get more details now at champaignparks.org.
Yeah, there's rushing that's going on at the University of Illinois where everybody's trying to figure out if they want to be in a fraternity or for a sorority, which one. And
right, but there's these recruitment videos now that you're seeing little snippets of all these girls dancing in front of their house.
Why is the left unhappy about that one?
Well, I mean,
they're dancing.
Is it a good message?
Well, I mean, it's dancing with energy. It looks like cheerleaders.
Scantily clad ladies.
Wait a minute now. More scantily than a cheerleader?
I don't know.
It's the same. They got skirts on.
It's always something,
No,
Steve.
but I'm saying I want to examine the scantily. I don't think that's scantily these days.
You're right.
They're like dance dresses.
I know.
So they're dancing, doing flips and all that, and that's supposed to be like Valley Girls or something? Maybe? I don't know.
Just, there's negativity every time you post something. You just better be ready for it.
Could be a new game show. Why is the left mad? Here's the subject. What is it? Oh,
videos of girls rushing and having their TikTok.
The jeans are anti-black. Okay, I get it.
Right.
I mean, so you'd really have to sort it out. If you spoke the language, you'd know. But to actually initiate your objection and have the time to get your group behind it so you can send people emails to get $5, people give money for stuff like that.
I know.
I'd like to know what kind of national, international money comes in for the objection from the far left. It's a lot of money. Millions, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They just hit it hard enough, and then the networks follow along because they're sheepdogs. My goodness. Everybody get a life. Let's go. Let's get things done. Let's get the prices down. Let's get people back to work. Let's end these wars. The big one is Ukraine, Russia. Will they meet next week? We'll know a lot. It's going to be late next week, and they're trying to figure out where to go because some countries have a warrant out to arrest Vladimir Putin for war crimes. So it's like, where do you go and not get arrested? Not that that's going to happen with all the security and everything else, but they're talking Rome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure they can go to Switzerland because I thought there was a warrant out in Switzerland for Vladimir Putin. So, and I don't think he wants to come all the way to Washington, but. Anyway, President he's just not going to do it, and he's going to slam them with his sanctions, which will definitely hurt Russia right now. So,
Mark Summers in Atwood, thanks for listening. It was funny to walk into Michael's bar yesterday in Atwood and have somebody who listens to the show and mentioning how a great show that John Decker, that segment.
Yep.
He has that White House press room.
Briefing with press room with John Decker.
Mm-hmm.
It's 15 minutes of gold. I listened yesterday, and it's exactly what I want in the morning of hearing what's happening. Here's the latest. Here's the order. It has sound bites. It's really good. And I told him I need another 23 hours and 45 minutes, and we could run it on a radio station nonstop.
I feel like Mark said something about the theme songs for some of our segments, too, and how he really likes those.
Waiting on my Grammy. Haven't gotten a thing.
Okay. All that. And you can hear the show or watch anytime. Stevie J Show, Jay on YouTube, and Stevie Jay FM on X.
Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the weekend.
That's Diane Ducey. I am Stevie J. We shall return Monday, God willing. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed weekend.
Hi, Randy Graham here with Curtis Orchard. Our delicious donuts are back because we are open for the season. Wait till you see our expanded Land of Oz activities with more mazes, a basketball shootout, new games, and a shade pavilion. We're redoing our barn, and now you can watch artist Jose Vasquez create a new Oz mural. Follow Facebook for dates and times. Of course, we still have all your favorites like peaches, apples, produce, fritters, and pies, cider slushies to beat the heat. Go to CurtisOrchard.com and like us on Facebook to find out more.
Urbana Park District invites you to get fit for free. Fitness classes all summer at Meadowbrook Park. Each Saturday, free yoga in the park starting at 9 a.m. On select Saturdays, free Zumba in the park starting at 10:30. And on select Tuesdays, free Tai Chi starting at 6:30 p.m. All classes are at Meadowbrook Park in the Garden Pavilion, and all ages and abilities are welcome. Meet new friends, bring friends to these classes, and enjoy. For details, visit urbanaparks.org.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World Command Center.
Paul, we have extreme heat warning. Summer 2025 is a hot one in Champaign-Urbana.
That's trouble for garage refrigerators.
One just went down in Rantoul. They need delivery right away, Paul.
Put them on for tomorrow. What's going on down here in Fisher?
It's a window air conditioner going out.
Can't have that. Good thing we deliver and install window ACs. We have plenty in stock.
Garage freezer NB man. Customer wants a technician out right away. She's afraid her beef is thawing.
Hate it when that happens. We have a tech in the area. Send Nate right over.
Copy that.
Team, it's like we talk about. At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, we know what hot weather can do to home appliances. More importantly, we're always ready for the heat with fast, friendly repair service and delivery, plus the largest selection of appliances in Champaign-Urbana.
Paul, customer in Muhammad, needs a portable dehumidifier ASAP. Says his tools are rusting out from the humidity.
That can happen. We have dehumidifiers for pickup or fast delivery. Remember, at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, you get the whole store.
Wow!
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information, including repair quotes and online scheduling requests, available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. This is WSJK Tuscaloosa.